I'm D-Labs, and I'm here to bring you Horror October. Everything in this month will be horror related or scary as shit. So here we go for Horror October.
Tomazzi Entertainment.
Hello everybody, it's D-Labs. I'm here to bring you a review and some crazy information about this movie that's after the review. So let's get to the review. Warlock is like a science fiction horror thriller. And the reason I say science fiction is because it has a time travel element. The movie starts in 1691. Redford has already caught the Warlock and he's going to be hung the next morning.
Would not Satan have saved you, were he thus inclined?
Perhaps he'll save us both, Redford.
As soon as Redford leaves the room, a dark stormy cloud goes over the building and the devil warps the Warlock to the present time, which is 1989. Now later on in the film, the Warlock finds out the reason that he was brought to this time is to find all the pieces to the devil's Bible. There are 3 pieces to the Bible he must collect all together. If the Warlock has all 3, he can basically destroy everything God created. Then you have a third female character, which is named Cassandra, and she's forced into the situation where she has to help Redford stop the Warlock.
Are you saying that tomorrow I'm gonna wake up 60?
I say this, unless you find the Warlock and thereby your bracelet, you shall die in but half a week.
Die?
Of old age.
And I can say this about all the characters in the movie, that they're interesting and they're cool. Especially Redford and the Warlock. Because this movie kind of has a Terminator feel. Because they go through time and Redford's trying to stop the Warlock from destroying mankind. And just like Terminator, some of the best parts of the movie is when the Warlock and Redford have their little fights throughout the film.
When one life too many you did steal.
I wish these interactions were more often in the film because they're the most exciting parts of the movie. Also, I want to mention the practical and special effects. They're surprisingly better than you would expect. Even though this is a low budget movie, it feels like it has high production value. Another thing that's really well done is the music. It has a creepy melody that stays with you long after the movie ends. Like, you think about this melody for a while. Besides being a horror, thriller, sci-fi, it's also a comedy. Now, I'm not saying you're going to laugh your ass off because there's only like 3 or 4 jokes. But the fact that there are jokes in a horror movie basically about the Antichrist is pretty impressive. So basically what I'm saying is this movie is awesome and you got to watch it because it's cool and it's great. It's a really good movie. I believe you guys would enjoy it if you check it out. Now that I think about it, the only real negative thing I have about this movie is that I wish it was longer and more fight scenes. So I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. This movie is epic and you got to watch it. But there is a very dark side to this movie that happened about 6 years after the film's release. In 1995, 14-year-old Sandy Charles told police that he's been contemplating suicide, but a spirit told him to kill someone else. On July 8th, Charles and an unnamed 8-year-old accomplice, only known as M, lured a 7-year-old Jonathan Thimpson into a secluded area behind Charles's home and attempted to break the boy's neck. When that failed, they tried to kill Thimpson by stabbing him 4 times in the head and neck with a paring knife. But when the blade became lodged in the boy's eye, they beat him with a beer bottle and a rock, and ultimately suffocated him. They cut 10 to 15 strips of flesh from Thimpson's body, boiled it over a stove, and allegedly drank it. Simpson's body was discovered 3 days later. In court, lawyers on Charlie's behalf argued that he became obsessed with the film Warlock, and that the murder was based in part on a promise from the movie that drinking boiled fat from a virgin can give one the ability to fly, though Charlie claimed he did not want to drink the boiled fat from the victim, because as his words were, "I just wanted to stay the same way I was." Regardless, the case brought up the issue of violence in movies in the forefront of Charlie's native Canada, and is reported to have influenced the decision to enable parents to use V-chips to censor violence in cable television. Because of their ages, Charlie was put on trial as an adult. His accomplice, identified only by the letter M, was not charged. Charlie was found not guilty by the reason of insanity. Following his trial, he went on to reside at the High Security Regional Psychiatric Center in Saskatoon, and was briefly relocated to Saskatchewan Hospital in June of 2013, but he was transferred back to the Regional Psychiatrist Center in Saskatoon. Wow, man. That's crazy. I can't believe that happened. That poor little kid. It makes me kind of sick to think about it. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for watching this video. I'm hoping that you're enjoying my Horror October. Please leave a comment below and let me know what you think. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And a thumbs up is always helpful if you'd like to do that. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.